Peace, what's up? Phil James. Today is Tuesday. It is March 6th. It's 2018. And I am pretty effing tired. I am pretty effing sore. But I got to make a video about this because it's pretty ridiculous. So, as you can tell, we're here on futurism. In the article I'm about to show you, well, two articles actually, both have to do with GMOs. And we all know what GMOs are. If not, and you have been under a rock for the past decade, GMOs are genetically modified organisms, or the food you eat on a daily basis, because damn near everything is genetically engineered and genetically altered in this day and age. Now, as you can see, this is the top of corn. After 2 decades of GMOs, scientists find they live up to their promise. Genetically modified organisms have garnered an abundance of skepticism and misinformation in the public eye. One new analysis uses over 2 decades of research to put some rumors about GMOs to rest. How awesome. Now, I'm only going to read a couple paragraphs out of this article, and I will leave a link for this article so you can come read the rest of it, because it's absolutely insane. There is a great deal of misinformation out there regarding genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, from monikers like Frankenfoods to general skepticism. There has been a variety of biased reactions to these organisms, even though we as a species have been genetically modifying our foods in one way or another for approximately 10,000 years. Now, that's laughable right there, obviously. 10,000 years that we've been manipulating our food one way or another. Yeah, whatever, okay. But anyways, let's get back to this. Perhaps some of the distrust will be put to rest with the emergence of a new meta-analysis that shows genetically modified corn increases crop yields and provides significant health benefits. Now remember that part. It claims it helps crop yields and has significant health benefits. Now let's go to the second paragraph here. The analysis, which was not limited to studies conducted in the US and Canada, showed that GMO corn varieties have increased crop yields worldwide 5.6 to 24.5% when compared to non-GMO varieties. They also found that GM corn, or genetically modified corn, crops had significantly fewer, up to 36.5% less, depending on the species, mycotoxins, toxic chemical byproducts of crop colonization. It's a byproduct of a fungus that grows on corn, apparently. Now, some have argued that GMOs in the US and Canada haven't increased crop yields and could threaten human health. This sweeping analysis proved just the opposite. Now, obviously, if you're watching this, you more than likely don't believe a damn thing this article said, like myself, because GMOs are not beneficial to humans. And even if they weren't negative to humans, we still wouldn't know. They say they've been testing it for 2 decades. Well, the people that are commonly responsible for the genetic engineering of said crops and corn is Monsanto. Monsanto is the biggest pesticide, herbicide, and poison maker in the world, one, and they're the most hated company in the world, two. If, once again, you've been living under a rock for the past decade or so, Monsanto is a company that has produced things like Agent Orange, saccharin, DDT, which almost killed our national bird, PCBs, bovine growth hormones, which we inject into cows, and that's what makes 12-year-old girls look more like 18, because it's a growth hormone. And that's in your milk, along with pus from the cows and the udders and the infections that happen due to everything they do to these cows. But anyways, Yeah, Monsanto is a terrible company, and they've produced so much shit that is so bad for us and people. As, like I said, the first one, Agent Orange, dioxin, Roundup, glyphosate, you know what I mean? That's Monsanto. Now, there's 5 other companies that are right up there with Monsanto. Monsanto just had a massive merger with Bayer, the company, responsible for like Bayer aspirin. They're also a very scumbag company. There's a lot of rumors that Bayer had shipped aspirin to Africa containing HIV/AIDS in it. And, a lot more rumors, and God only knows, probably truth, because these companies are horrible, horrible companies, evil companies. Now, back to this article. Another chemical that was very well known, and another thing they did with these genetically engineered corn crops, they made these corn crops grow with something called B2 toxin, as in B, as in boy, 2 toxin. Now, B2 toxin was created so that when insects eat corn, the corn crop, it ruptures their stomach. Monsanto, of course, it will never make it to your dinner table. Well, the first 2 months it was out, it was already being found in breast milk of breastfeeding women. So it went to more than just your dinner table, obviously. Okay, so this, I do believe here. Okay, so here's, like I said, I'm going to leave a link so you can come read this. But here's the article, the second paragraph that I really wanted to read to you guys. There have been, for a variety of largely unscientific reasons, serious concerns surrounding the effects of GMOs on human health. This analysis confirms that not only do GMOs pose no risk to human health, but also that they actually could have a substantive positive impact on it. Now, once again, complete and total bullshit, and if anybody believes this, I don't even know what to tell you. Yeah, a scientific journal put it in there. Doesn't mean a damn thing. Futurism put it on their page. Doesn't mean a damn thing, because media, all the media, minus a select tiny few, is controlled by probably 2 families, 1 family, who knows. But that was the first article. Like I said, there will be a link for you guys, and you can go through and read this for yourself, because it's definitely a good article to read, and it's pretty mind-blowing that they're coming out saying GMOs are actually good for us now. Originally, they said that we would never know the effects until years and years and years had gone by. I don't think 20 years would be even enough to get substantial test results, but I can say that when mice or lab rats are fed GMOs only and tested on with these chemicals, they produce massive tumors and all kinds of health problems. So I don't think that this is at all true, not even slightly. So the second article, though, that I would like to go ahead and jump in. Nope, wrong one. So this page that the link to this will actually be an article saying the EPA just approved mosquito-killing insect created in a lab. That's what this link will say, and it's actually a link that will take you to an article that I've already talked about. The lab-grown or the lab-made mosquitoes that go out and reproduce and aren't capable of reproducing, so they can offset the mosquito population, you know what I mean, and probably destroy every ecosystem in North America. There were 20 states that were approved for these mosquitoes. You want to check it out. It'll be at the top of this page, the second link that I will share in the description below. But because we're talking about GMOs, I wanted to go ahead and touch on this also. Genetically modified apple that doesn't brown hits stores this month. Now, why is that a good thing? Okay, it's an apple that you can cut in half and it will not turn brown. And I mean it, like they took the gene that turns it brown out. So being being a consumer and somebody who eats apples, that makes me think absolutely horrible thoughts. And I'll tell you why. Because that means you can go to the store, purchase an apple, and guess what? It doesn't brown. So does that mean you won't know it's old or bad if the store's selling it? You know what I mean? You'll automatically assume it's fresh because it's a store. But if it doesn't brown, does that mean it doesn't show signs of being old either? Just like, you know what I mean? So, not a good thing in my mind. You can cut one open, leave it sit out on your kitchen counter for 3 days, and then your kid go eat it and have no clue that it's 3 days old, been sitting there, probably had flies all over it, and God knows. You know what I mean? So, this month, not trying that, specialty fruits, Arctic apple will be made available across the Midwestern U.S. The fruit has been genetically modified such that its flesh won't turn brown when exposed to air. Yeah, kind of insane, but there's a little video, so we'll watch it. It's just mind-blowing to me. You see what I mean? How is that at all good? Like, why is that a good thing? That it won't turn brown? Like, I would much rather my apple turn brown so I know it's bad. But I'm not going to read this article. I'll leave a link, like I said. There'll be a few stories and a few articles on this page that you might want to look into because they're pretty decent, pretty good reads, pretty good things to have in your mind. So here you go. I will read this paragraph right here. An apple a day. Many examples of genetically modified food benefit the producer rather than the customer, but the Arctic apple bucks that trend. There are hopes that if it's successful, it might pave the way for other products. Well, everything's already a GMO, so what? Pave the way for other products to not show signs of it being old? I mean, that's not good. Okay, so genetic modification can offer a whole host of ways to augment food, from improving the nutritional value of corn to reducing the amount of fat in pork. However, it can be difficult for these products to be approved by authorities like the Food and Drug Administration, and even more difficult for them to catch on with customers, with good reason. Now, the FDA is corrupt as shit, and half the workers at the FDA have also, or do still currently, work or own stocks in Monsanto, Bayer, and the other four of the big six companies, like all those random companies. DuPont is another one, but there's a few of them, and they're all scumbag companies, horrible companies. The Arctic apple has received some criticism because the fact that its packaging doesn't explicitly state that the fruit has been genetically modified. Instead, there's a QR code which is linked to more detailed information. Of course, because things like the Monsanto Dark Act, the Monsanto Protection Act, make it very, very easy for them to pump GMOs out to the unknowing consumer. And nobody knows because there's no labeling. Certain states have made labeling laws, but there's always a way around it, it seems, with companies like Monsanto. So, once again, I wanted to go ahead and show these things because it's just unreal. Going and pushing that narrative that, GMOs are so helpful and so good, and there's nothing bad about them at all, and that we should actually just trust that they would not hurt us, trust that they're going to give us good, healthy food, we should just trust that. But anyways, that's all I really wanted to share. Phil James, links will be in the description. Remember, if you want to see the second one, this article right here, you're going to have to scroll down the page, because the main article on this actually talks about mosquitoes. So, yeah. Phil James, y'all, and I am out. Peace.